My favorite recipes have always come from a place called Taste of Home magazine, cooking magazine. And I got this recipe one time, and it's a peanut butter pie recipe. And I have this peanut butter that expired in August 24. And so I want to use it. Look at the glare. I'm sorry, it's because of these windows. I need to film from the other side. Okay, should I start over? My peanut butter pie recipe. I'm gonna film from this side because then I don't get the glare. And I was worried about my crust because I've had them, I buy them at the Dollar Tree and I had them a while. And I can't really tell the date on this. I think it's April 24. And I smelled it and it, you know, graham crackers go rancid. But it smells good too. So we're in them. I'm gonna make it because I noticed, you know, the older we get, Jamie gets, he really likes his desserts. Do you have anything good? But first, speaking of Jamie, I gotta show you what Brenda and Evelyn sent Jamie in condolences of his fish dying. Isn't this the most wonderful, card for him? All the dinosaurs. I'm gonna put it up there by his dinosaur display. And she said, while looking for a card, this one stood out for you. We love when you are in Angela's videos. Keep smiling. Love, Evelyn and Brenda. Isn't that cute? I love it. She did pick out the perfect card for him. So that's too pretty to put away in a book. So I'm going to be putting that in up by his dinosaur display, which children haven't played with it yet. It's looking good still. My hair's kind of funky today. It's probably needs to be washed soon. Okay, first, if you didn't have your crust, then you could have to get graham crackers, sugar, and butter and make your own. But since we have convenience and they're just as good, then. Now, pie crust, I could tell when it's homemade. But this kind, doesn't matter, it tastes the same. All right, in a mixing bowl, beat cream cheese. And it's supposed to be 1/8 ounce cream cheese, peanut butter, 1 cup peanut butter, 1 cup sugar, and 1 tablespoon butter, and 1 teaspoon vanilla. Well, guess what, guys? One time this is a story. If you like stories, you'll like this one. One time I was at my mom and dad's in Brookings, Oregon, and I said, what can I do to help for dinner? And so I decided that I was going to help make a dessert. So I thought, I'll make my peanut butter pie. And so I don't need to measure the peanut butter because this is 2 cups. So I just need to get half of it out. Just a minute. I had to have a littler spatula because this one won't fit in the jar. So I told my mom, I'll make a peanut butter pie. My dad will love it. And so I just had to get a few ingredients, but I didn't have the recipe with me. And I forgot to add the cream cheese. Well, it was just as good, and I found out it was even better, plus it was less calories without that cream cheese in there. So I've been making it without the cream cheese ever since, because why use the expense? How much is cream cheese? Almost, like $2. And how many calories? Oh, a lot. So I find if you put cream cheese in it, and you're welcome to do that, I'll put the original recipe in the description. And if you want to put cream cheese, then just go for it. That's fine. It makes it richer and, it's not really creamier, but it's heavier and richer if you put the cream cheese in it. But you don't need to. So I don't do it because, I am El Cheapo. Thrifty, El Cheapo. Gotta save my cream cheese for the dill pickle dip or something, Okay, I got the cup in here. of peanut butter. Okay. Then, the sugar. Now, you could use regular sugar. What does it say? What kind of sugar? It says it's a cup of sugar. But I'm going to use powdered sugar. And I'm not going to use a whole cup because the Cool Whip is sweetened and so is the peanut butter. So I'm only going to use half the sugar. Because, you know, most people are fat as pigs anyway. We don't need all that sugar for diabetes or A1C. Is it A1C? We don't need all that. So I'm just going to add this much. And that'll be good. And it's going to be really good still. I'm doing it because I use, the recipe doesn't call for it, I don't think. It says to garnish with chocolate or cookie crumbs. But I use the mini chocolate chips because I love that little morsel of chocolate. So I put a little bit of sugar in because these are semi-sweet. And we don't want to, you know, make somebody think it's all dark chocolate. Because I don't know about you, but everybody in my family, they don't really like dark chocolate. I'll tell you a story why. If you're new to my channel, you haven't heard this story. All right, I was a single mother of 4 little boys. And you know how little children love cookies and desserts and everything. Well, they wanted me to make, chocolate chip cookies all the time. You know, let's have cookies. That was their favorite. Well, sometimes I'm too tired and I didn't want to do it. And I was lazy or something. I don't know. So I just gave them the bag of semi-sweet chocolate chips to eat. Well, they loved it at first. After a while, the semi-sweet chocolate chips were not their favorite. They didn't want chocolate chip cookies with those anymore. And I cured them. To this day, all of them want vanilla cake, vanilla pudding, vanilla. They do not like chocolate anymore. So that's how you cure your children if you don't want them to be chocolate lovers. Now, the vanilla says a teaspoon, but I have real vanilla from Mexico. It is called Mexican vanilla, natural vanilla. And I think it's stronger than your imitation vanilla and stuff. So I just use a half a teaspoon, not the whole teaspoon. Because I don't want to taste the vanilla necessarily. I just want it to enhance it. All right, I'm not going to bore you with the mixer noise because I already had lawnmower noise and, you know, all the other noises. So I'm going to go over there and beat it, and then I'll be back and I'll show you what we do next. Now, if you were using cream cheese, that step would be very important to beat it, the cream cheese with the peanut butter. Really beat it good with the sugar. All right, now I just use reduced fat Cool Whip. Now, when I married Jamie, here's another story. He milked cows his whole life, milking cows. When people milk cows, they have a different life than we who live in the cities. Because, you know, after you milk a cow, and then you have to sieve it, put it through the cheesecloth to get out all the anything that's floating in there, and then you put it in the fridge and cool it real fast. Well, the cooling makes the cream come to the top, and then you just use like a ladle and you scoop off the cream and you just whip it, and you got whipped cream. It's so wonderful. We had cream. Oh, I just started making desserts after desserts using all the cream. And it says 1 cup heavy cream whipped in this recipe. But you know what? I'm going to keep a little out to put on top because I don't want to open another one. It's not for company. It's just Jamie and I. Okay. And so, I might have to whip this with the beaters a little. Let's see if it will mix in. And so that's what they did. And they never bought Cool Whip. They didn't know anything about it. So then when I married Jamie, you know, after we didn't have cows probably, I wanted Cool Whip for the pies. And he's like, what? I don't know anything about that. His daughter, she didn't either. I don't know anything about that. And so I had to go teach him about Cool Whip. Well, Jamie still doesn't like it much. He could tell the difference big time. I'm going to go whip it a little because it's not going to stir good and be like luscious. So I'll be right back. And yes, I didn't take my spatula over there. Yes, I'm going to lick the beaters later. Because I was a middle child. I never got I got the knife. Shauna got the beaters. Probably Shauna and Lisa. The baby and the other one. And then I got to lick the knife. Thanks, Mom. Of course, it was raw eggs we were eating. Remember the days when we licked the bowl and it was raw eggs? I got it. There. Stay. Anyway, I never died or got food poisoning. Never lost any weight, getting sick, looking at eggs. I remember in the day, those bodybuilders, they would just drink raw egg yolks. Wonder if they ever got sick. And we fed our kids peanut butter, and now they can't do that anymore. It doesn't say how much you should add of chocolate chips. So I added about a half a cup, maybe more. You can do whatever you want. Don't put them in if you don't like it. Maybe don't they have Reese's chocolate chips? You can put that in there if you want it real peanutty. Anyway, you can do anything you want, but this is how we like it. Okay, it's all ready. All right, we got the camera on the subject now. I need a cameraman. I don't know, I haven't seen Credence and Macy for days. I don't know if they still have volleyball camp or what they're doing. I don't think they're camping because Hillary had to work. They have an above ground pool now. It's not real big. So they're not desperate to come to my house anymore. And I ordered a real heater for my pool today. We got that one for $50. It's not working. And so I ordered a real one because I'm fed up. I mean, it's cool and it works. I'm not dying in there because the water's that cold. But the other people come and they, look at me like I'm nuts in that cold water. So what am I waiting for? Just do it. Just buy it. Money's for spending. That's what a lady in Mexico told me when I didn't want her junk. But I liked looking at it. And then she goes, buy this, buy that. And I said, And she goes, money's for spending. Just buy it. So I did. So I got that. And then I got the air conditioning for the car fluid today to, fill it with that coolant. Because on a day like today when it's only 72, it seems fine. But when it is really hot outside, like we went to Idaho Falls and it's in the 80s, usually that air conditioning can be chilly and you're cold and you have to turn it, not on the highest. But we didn't. And I'm like, I think this is supposed to be cooler. So I bought it anyway. And you don't ever need it till you're on the road trip going somewhere out of here. Then you're like, this isn't working. So I might make this when Carolyn's here. I won't put sugar in it, or the fake sugar, because she's diabetic. And then get sugar-free Cool Whip. Oh, the Crust. I bet everything has sugar in it. You don't even know. All right, then what I like to do is, put a few of these around to garnish it. Now, if you wanted to take the time, I never did it, but if you want to take the time, you could take each chocolate chip and set it upright like this. But I'm not doing that because I want to move on with my life today and get everything done I want to. I got to make a video about this free thing they gave me. dolly. I already have one. Don't tell him, but I'm going to give it for a gift for somebody probably. So, Brianna came this morning. She's getting married, and she picked out the quilt she wanted that I... Oh, no, I just dropped a bunch right on my foot. I need a dog. Oh, wait, no. Dogs aren't supposed to eat chocolate. Okay, there it is. Easy peasy. Oh, no, the company's going to be here any minute. And see, you can do it so fast. And then put the lid back on it and put it in the fridge. And then Jamie will be so happy when he goes, you have anything good to eat? That means sweet when he says anything good to eat. I'll say, yes, I do. All right, moving on to the next thing. The next thing I'm going to show you is my stove. This is a pretty new stove. It's not even a year old. And I've told you before, my husband has real problems burning things. So I like to blame him for how the stovetop is now white looking. Now, I usually take a razor blade. And, you know, they have those, the tools that you clean and scrape the stuff with. But I take a razor blade and I hold it on its side and try to scrape off the burnt stuff. And that works really good. But see, nothing's coming off now. It's all the debris is off. I've cleaned it. I've tried everything you can imagine. So I was doing research on the College of YouTube. And this one lady she bought the very finest sandpaper that you could buy, which is this one. I went on Amazon and bought it. Now, I don't know what this is, but I know it's fine. This wouldn't even touch my fingernails or my heels if I wanted to use it for that. Wet or dry? I think she got it wet. And she said it will take off this white stuff. Well, I am very frightened to try it. So, see right over here? This is the whitest place right here. I'm sure it's because we have hard water. So, I'm just going to try a little area. I'm not just going to go all bore on it because, you know, that could ruin my stove even more than it's already ruined from that back burner not working a month after we got it. Don't buy LG or Samsung. I haven't found the kind you should buy. All right, I'm going to find a little one that's in the center here, like right here. And she said just to rub it. And Trevor, he has a brand new one. And Brooklyn, they heated the meat. They were making tacos or something, and they heated the meat. And then the one burner was hot, so they moved the meat over here. Well, Brooklyn didn't know that this one was hot, and she laid the plastic of taco shells on it, and the package melted onto the burner. And now it doesn't look new anymore. And so Trevor was really mad, Missy, they were mad, you know. It was an accident, but you still get mad. And so I told him, I'm going to try this, and if it works, I'll let you know, and you can do it to yours. Well, I don't see any damages yet. I'm going to try it dry. Right here, it's dry. Oh, I'll do it over here for the camera. It doesn't even feel like it's any sanding. You know, the sand of the sandpaper. It doesn't feel like there's any there. Is there any debris coming up? I don't know. It's not hurting it any, though. I know that. Maybe my case is a severe case. But look, it does have some debris on the paper. So that means it is picking it up. Maybe I can use the next. This just says CP38. I don't know what all of the increments are. And the next one is this one. And it is what? I don't know. 2000 CW. They don't even mean to, they don't go consecutively, so I don't know what it means. Anyway, I just bought the assortment and started at the very smallest. So this smallest one isn't scratching it, and I don't think it's cleaning it up either. Now, Misty, she had a white top like this in her other house, but guess what that did? It had black stains. So I don't think there's a color that's going to be better than another one. Now I'm pushing kind of harder, and I'm looking at the side, and you don't see any scratches. So it's not scratching it, but on the other hand, it's not cleaning it either, I don't think. This is a wet rag. Maybe I should have a dry one. No, and you can still see, so there is stuff on here that wipes off. Okay, let me dry it. This is just experimenting together. People like longer videos. No, this isn't doing anything, dry or wet. Okay, I'm gonna hit up to the next one, the next level of, it has 2000, but it also says 2209. Silicone carbide. Okay. In other words, sandpaper. We're gonna try this one, just in the little place, right here. I thought she said 800 sandpaper. But it's still not really removing it. And it's not scratching it either. So, let's see if there's an 800 in here. 400, here's the 800. Okay, do they have 600? This is 800. 1200. And, okay, yeah. 1500. What was this one? 2000. So we got to try the 1500. Oh, that's a big difference, though, from 8. That's 12. 1200. 1200. 1000. 1500. Let's try. Now I don't know what to do. There's a lot of numbers. Here's the 1000. 8, see, the littler the numbers, the rougher it is. If it's like fingernail, right? Because you guys told me the fingernail ones. Here's the 1500. I'm gonna try it. It's the same. Nothing. That's 1000. That's less. Okay, we're gonna try that. This is the 800. This is the one she said to use. And it is a little more coarse. So. All right, I've been working on it with the 800. And I think I did this half. And I think it definitely takes off the the white part, this stuff. See, I didn't do this yet. And up here I did. And it is looking better. But you have to, it doesn't seem to matter if it's wet or dry. But you have to pretty much, use a little elbow grease on it. Here's a bad place right here. Let's see. Now, should I try a step up? Well, it would be 8. Would it be 600? I don't know if they make it 700. I should try a little more gritter. But this definitely looks better up here than it does down here. So I do think it works. And it's not scratching it like you would think. And it is getting off this around here. All right, they do make a 600. So I'm going to try a 600 and try it right here, because the 800 didn't take all of it off. Okay, let's wipe it. Whoa. I'm trying to see if there's any scratches. Look at it, does look a lot better right here. Jamie will come home and say, "Oh, you cleaned the stove, so now I can cook on it." Okay, I'm going to try a little water. See if it does better with water. Are you bored yet? Next, we're going to clean the oven. Yes. See, this hasn't been cleaned yet, and you can see the this right here. And over here. So I think it does work, but I wouldn't go any higher than the 600. I'd be scared to. Because you don't want to scratch it and make it worse. It's better than it was, though. I think the water helps it better. Yeah. It's the best thing I've used so far. Razor blade doesn't seem to get it off after so much whiteness on here. Should you go in circles or up and down? I don't think it matters, because it's not scratching it. Okay. Does it look better? Yes. Does look better. But don't come after me if it doesn't when you do it. I'm not a professional. I don't have a license in this. I'm not going to take claim if it wrecks your stove. I'm just showing you what I will do to try to clean mine for when your mother-in-law comes. I don't have a mother-in-law. She's dead. She never came over much anyway. And then when I was married to Foster, I didn't have a mother-in-law because she was dead. So I had Barbie, my first mother-in-law. She didn't like me too much. I liked her. She was a smart woman. All right, there we go. I'm not going to bore you anymore. This is long enough video. But, okay, let's compare this side to over here. This is about what it looked like when I started. See the whiteness here? and everything. And here's the after. Of course, you have all these light. We'll turn that off. Oh, yeah. See, it does look a lot better. Because this really has it. And this one just has it a little bit. Right here. Maybe I just need to work on it a little more. You can't make it new again because it's not a new stove. I know, people like gas. We can't even get gas here out to this neighborhood. Now, what's this? Did I do that to it? No, I didn't. And you're not supposed to slide your pots, you know, because that will cause damage. Scratch it when you slide it. This isn't scratching it though, so it does look a lot better than this one. See, this is new back here because it's quit working. So this one is like not burned on. But I do think it does look better. In person, it even looks better. You don't have the reflections so much. All right, just an experiment for ya.